He scores to make it 1-0 here, and we should be through to the next round.
Oh, yes!
Hello and welcome back to another episode as part of the Pacific Pursuit, and welcome back to Brazil, where in today's episode we have got two games hopefully coming up. The first against China, and then after that it will be through to the round of 16 where we will play one of the remaining teams. If we're going to take a look at how the group stage ended for us and for the rest of the team, so if we go to our group first, down here, Group H, we finished top of the group. 10 goals scored, 3 conceded, 9 points on the board. The teams who also qualified, Ukraine and Australia. We're gonna try and keep an eye out for them as we go along. All the games are on at the same time, which is a bit of a weird thing, but who knows. Teams who didn't qualify, Germany didn't qualify, and arguably the hardest team to have to play here, France, did not qualify. I mean, I don't know what their players are saying these days. Anyone of note? They've got Warren Zaire-Emery, Eduardo Camavinga, who's also there. Some very good players, and they won't be going through to the next round. Teams who have qualified, though, include the likes of Colombia, Belgium, Italy, Mexico. Could be an interesting game. We've also got Spain, the US, who we played in a friendly, Portugal there, Netherlands. We also have Uruguay, Argentina, England are also there, and South Africa. But I think Argentina got a perfect record, Uruguay had a perfect record, Netherlands, Portugal, and then Brazil are there, and also Colombia. So quite a few teams getting a perfect record. Let's just get straight into it. The first game of the day is the round of 32 against China. So the team for this game against China, we have had a week's rest and a lot of players didn't play in that game against Ukraine. We had 2 goals for Gabriel da Silva and 2 for Jackson. And also we managed to get both the goalkeepers on in that game. The team, Mateus in goal, backline of Di Carvalho, Beraldo, who comes in for the injured, Gakoa, Beto, Sargentin. We've got Bosse, Ney, Wanderson in the middle, Endrick on the left, Estival on the right, and Jose Roberto up top. Kick-off here in this game against China. Hopefully it's a relatively straightforward job. China, a team who don't typically qualify for the World Cup, but with this expansion have managed to get in. It's going to be very interesting to see how we do against them, and hopefully we can put in a very convincing display. As we said, 4-2 win against Ukraine. We started slow, but then we managed to grow into the game and did very, very well in the end to come away with a very, very good result in that 4-2 scoreline. As we said, all the games are on at the same time, so we will see who advances. There's an early goal for a team who finished on 9 points. They've conceded to Denmark there. As you can see, Estival plays this ball into the middle. It's to Wanderson. Beto plays it into Bosse, and he scores to make it 1-0 here, and we should be through to the next round of the World Cup. It's Bosse with the finish from the corner. Should be better defending from China, really, but I guess we can't complain. That is a very good start, and if we can make some early changes, that would obviously be ideal. As we said last episode, it can be quite an important thing to try and sort out the changes so that everyone gets as little minutes as possible, but you also have very good quality players on the pitch and they can do their best in those minutes that they do get. As we said, every single player has had an appearance now, which is good. We have no Tepe, he is out for the rest of the tournament in the midfield, which is a bit of a shame, but it was good to rotate those players, and Da Silva getting 2 goals, which was good, and also Jackson definitely going to look to introduce them into this game where possible. There's a poor clearance there, and Di Carvalho is going to get onto this. Beraldo does return to the team today. I think that's good. An experienced player. We can't get complacent off the back of what has been a very convincing group stage. Estival is in behind here with the shot, and he hits the inside of the post. It goes off the China goalkeeper. Very unlucky to not score there in the end, but as I was saying, I think it's important to have that experience, because we could get complacent at this point with those 3 wins that we had. But he comes in, Gakoa misses out through injury, and I'm sure he will return, but Beraldo is still a very capable defender and has a very good claim to get into the squad. You will notice, by the way, Everyone is numbered 1 to 11 apart from Beraldo. Gakko does have the number 4 shirt. He's done very well to get himself into this team, and hopefully he can return for the next game against whoever it is. I mean, France getting knocked out is a pretty big thing. I think, the teams who you look at, I mean, we could take a look at the world rankings to see what they say, but you just feel like France are inevitable. They have been in the last 2 World Cups. Obviously that final and the win, they beat Brazil in the semi-final, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, or was it I think it was they beat Belgium instead, but Belgium beat Brazil, that's what it was. But yeah, it's quite surprising they've missed out. I mean, if we go and take a look at the world rankings, that will definitely be interesting to look at. If you can go and find it now, world rankings there. So Portugal are actually on top, then Belgium, then Brazil. I thought Brazil were about 5th. They've actually gone a little bit higher. They have climbed up a little bit more. We're only around 80 points behind Portugal and really close to Belgium. So I'll have to keep an eye on how them two do. It's surprising that they're 1st and 2nd. Really, you wouldn't have expected either of them teams to be 1st or 2nd. Definitely up there, but not a dominating team as they clearly are. So Portugal playing Ecuador there. Qatar, Iran, that was the Asian Cup semi-final, if I'm not mistaken, in which I think Iran won it, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember, but I remember that being a semi-final or a quarter-final, something like that, to knock one of the big teams out in that Asian Cup when we were managing South Korea and played Australia in that final. So Belgium playing against Serbia there, an all-European clash. It'll be interesting to see how those games go down. Jose Roberto has hit the bar. I think we've hit the woodwork 3 times in this game. Very unlucky to not be quite a few goals up here, but I'm sure they will come in time, and Jose Roberto can hopefully add to his tally that he's already started to accumulate 2 goals in the first 3 games, and hopefully he can continue to add to that. Here's Bossei, could be a foul in there, and that is definitely a foul in the end. The penalty won by Bossei, the goal scorer. He's having an absolute boss campaign, you could say. I don't know what's happening with these penalty takers. It is Bossei who's actually on it. I don't know if he should be. I'm going to give it to Jose Roberto. I think that makes a bit more sense to have him on. Jackson is on the bench, and he did actually take a penalty in that game against Ukraine. I think it should have been Gabriel da Silva, so he could have completed the hat-trick, but what can you do? Jose Roberto, our most capable penalty taker on the pitch, is going to step up to make it 2-0 here. Jose Roberto he's put it wide. He's put it wide. There's no way he's put it wide. That's very poor. Very, very poor in the end. I think we're getting a little bit unlucky here in this game. I mean, should be getting it on target there. That is quite poor. It says our scoreline's 2-0. Bossy scored the penalty. Who knows what's going on with that? It looks like Belgium are in fact losing their game, which is interesting. England are also losing, and Uruguay are also losing, so there might be a few upsets on the cards, and if we can get a few of these big teams knocked out early, I feel like it's happened before in the Pacific Pursuit. Was it the Asian Cup? I feel like it happened then. This could be it could be on. That's all I'm going to say. It definitely could be on. 42 minutes gone here in this game. I think it's safe to say we might just be through into the next round of the World Cup. It's been a very, very good display here against China, but the job is not done just yet. The ball into Sergeant Tim. Can't we find a second goal before half time? It's Esteval into Sergeant Tim. We've hit the woodwork 3 times and missed a penalty. The woodwork definitely unlucky, but the penalty, you've got to be a bit better. I shouldn't have swapped him. I know I shouldn't have. Wanderson is in behind here, and he's put it wide as well. He's not put it wide. It's a save from the China goalkeeper, but it's good play from Jose Roberto to flick it on. We can't hold any grudges against him. He is obviously a very, very capable striker, but I guess he's had a moment there where he's missed that penalty. Can we go into half time here in this game? I'm more interested really in what's going on in these other games. There's some big teams who are in fact losing will go into the next half here. I feel like as well we are actually going to draw a big team in the next round. I do feel like that is going to happen. I've just seen Turkey are winning their game 2-0. They actually won the World Cup a few years ago, which is a bit interesting. I don't know how they did that. Denmark are 5-0 up. Can you believe that? Where are they? 3-0 up. I thought it said they were 5-0 up then. That's insane. It looks like Denmark are through. Are going to knock out one of the teams who did finish on 9 points. Japan are losing to Croatia. That is probably going to be a very, very good game. That happened in the 2022 World Cup, that penalty shootout, if you do remember. In the other games, it doesn't look like any results have really come through as of yet. The Netherlands are losing to Scotland. Scotland qualified 3rd place. I'm not sure actually where they. I think they qualified 3rd place. I'm not too sure. Here's Bossy on the ball. He's in behind. He squares it into the middle. Jose Roberto from a tight angle. He's not able to do anything with that. In the end, we're going to look to make some more changes. Endrick off. He's had a bit of a quiet tournament. Would you say is expected? Could Paulo Enrique getting over him? I mean, he's a very literally capable player, so I would keep him in that team. In the World Cup, he's got himself a single assist in 2 games. This is only his 3rd game, and there is still 4 more to go. It is up to 8 games now. I did forget that. I thought it was still 7. There's 6 in the Copa America, 7 in the Asian Cup, and 8 in the World Cup. And I think you can get 9 if you lose the semi-final because of that 3rd place playoff, which is quite a few games to say the least. Jan Kuto I'm going to bring in here for Sergeant Tim. I want to bring Jackson on. He had a very good game for Wanderson, who's had a decent game. I'll stick with those 3 changes for now. If I want to go and make more, we definitely can go and do. I feel like it's harsh really at international level because I want to bring everyone on. I really want to give them their caps because they definitely deserve it and are very capable players, but you can't bring them all on. It's definitely a tough job trying to manage minutes, but I think I do it all right. So hopefully it's something that they don't complain about too much. Robert Renan, we want to go and score this win. We only are 1-0 up, so it does make sense to bring him into this game here. Do bring Jose Roberto off. I mean, I'm gonna bring Estevao off. I'm gonna bring Loran on into the middle. I think these changes are probably the best changes we can make for now. Lucas is just coming off the back of an injury. De Silva obviously had a very good game, but I think we've got the very capable players to come on when we need a goal here. Here's Jackson into Estevao, and he's not able to convert in the end. And then the other player who we haven't brought on, Zangrandi, I don't think it's the situation to bring him in really. We've secured the back line. We've brought in some players in the attack to try and get another goal. I mean, we've generated 3.41 XG. 1-0 is not a good show of the score, how the game's gone really. I think China are defending for their lives, as you would in a World Cup really. Here's Paulo Enrique. He's in behind for 2-0 here in this game, and he might just force his way into this team over Endrick potentially. I'm not a fan of changing like when they did in the Euros, if you remember, when Trent got changed for Kobe Mainoo. I mean, it made sense, kind of. I think he wasn't too bad, to be honest, before he got subbed out, but that's what the manager thinks. I'm not a fan of changing right before, or I'm not a fan of changing in the middle of a tournament, because it just kind of shows that you don't trust in the player. Hendrick's got time. He's only had 3 games and he's got potentially 4 more if we get to that final. We'll have to see. In the other games, let's have a look. The Netherlands look set to be going out. Portugal only held to a 1-1 draw as it stands against Ecuador. I thought that was going to be an absolute screamer then. Spain are winning their game. Turkey are through. England are out. That's incredible really that they're out. So England and France, the 2 kind of favourites, are looking to go out. I think Argentina were winning their game. Uruguay are going out, another 9-point team. It's been an interesting second round, and I feel like this does happen in the second round. I think Brazil actually lost in the last time they played in the second round. It's probably the pressure, 32 teams, anything can happen. You can draw such a random team, and I think it's happened with some of these teams. Croatia looks set to go through, and another team who is set to go through is the Senegal. Brazil have beaten China here in the second round. And the team for this game against Turkey, I thought it would be a quite big game, and they have won a World Cup in recent times. Don't know how, but they did. We've got Mateus in goal, backline with Di Carvalho, Gakoa returns, Beto, Sergeant Tim, Bossine, Wanderson, Endrick does stay on the left, Estevao on the right, and Jose Roberto up top. Kick off here in this game against Turkey. It's going to be a tough game, to say the least. I think we have a very good opposition, and it makes sense really, because when I've had a look at the squad they have, they've got some very, very good players in here. Kenan Yildiz, Arda Güler, but some really, really high potential players who've clearly developed. I think Turkish football really interesting, the way they do it, and I think we're going to have an interesting game here against them. As I've said, Belgium did actually go out in the end. There's a chance here for us. Can we get a shot in? Jose Roberto with the effort. 1-0 here, and Jose Roberto is back, and we might just be about to beat Turkey here. It's a massive goal from Jose Roberto, that is what we want to see. The stuff of dreams to start off here. Just want to set the tone nice and early, and that is a very good way of doing it. Let's have a look at what the other games are saying. We've got, I think, if I'm not mistaken as well, Serbia might have actually done well in the Euros. It wasn't. There was some other teams it was England, Belgium, France apparently. I feel like I've seen them do well before. I don't know why. In the other games, it looks like the teams that have advanced are quite interesting. We've got Argentina, Scotland. Scotland pulled off that shock result against the Netherlands, but Argentina, very tough opposition. Croatia, Denmark, that'll be a really, really close game. Italy, Mali have managed to qualify. Qatar, Australia, that'll be an interesting game. South Africa on a bit of a tear up, and they're beating Portugal at the moment. And Hendrik is in behind here, and it's a save from the Turkey goalkeeper. Very unlucky to not be able to convert in the end there. We've got as well South Africa, Portugal, we said that. We've got Spain and Algeria, was it, I think? 1-0 up, Spain are there. Jeremy Pino looks like has got the goal. Yeah, it is Jeremy. He's with Barcelona at the moment, as you can see there. One thing I forgot to mention, I think, before the episode, by the way, is that the Sao Paulo manager got fired. And we went to try and join them, and they said that we can't join because we've not been in another post since we left. The irony is crazy, but we have been in another post. We've had this Brazil job. I don't really know. I don't really care. Let's win this World Cup. We're 1-0 up here, and we are absolutely all over the opposition. 1-0 after 35 minutes. Hendrik with a chance there. He's definitely had a much better game here. It's a ball into the middle. Beto tries to head of that. He doesn't even jump up for it. He'll fall out to Hendrik here. In the end, is he our captain on the pitch? I'm actually not too sure. Let's have a look. Yeah, Hendrik is our captain, so he offers that leadership quality that we are on about, and I think it's important to have him on the pitch if he is somewhat of a natural leader at this stage of his career. But the half-time whistle goes, and we are in a very, very good position here to advance to the quarter-finals and make finals day of the World Cup. We will find out by the end of this episode, should we get there, who our opponent will be. In the other games, it's starting to liven up a little bit. Every team is leading, apart from in Argentina, Scotland. We've got Denmark, Italy, Australia. There's a draw in this game, actually. Portugal have managed to pull it back for a second time. Spain are leading, Brazil leading, and Serbia are also leading. But Estevao has picked up the ball here, and we might be able to counter-attack. Where can he go with this? He'll take it out to this right side where Ney is on the ball. The return ball to Estevao. He's still on this right-hand side. He goes to Sergeant Tim, and he's advancing now. Lovely run down this right side. Can he play the ball into the middle? He can, for Hendrik at the back post. Wanderson now reaching up for it, and he can't do anything with it. In the end, it's time to look for some change. I think Estevao's got a bit of an injury, and we wouldn't want to risk that getting any worse there. Estevao formerly managed him at Leicester, and now he's here with the Brazilian national team. A very, very capable player, but all of a sudden Turkey have completely turned it around here. But luckily it wasn't offside, and it was a save from Mateus. Anyway, very, very good display from Mateus so far. Turkey have actually put up a better XG performance, but it's Mateus who's denying all the shots. Here is Estevao, Sergeant Tim for Jose Roberto with the header, and that is 2-0 here in this game, and it's Jose Roberto for the second time on the 60-minute mark. Surely not offside. Let's have a look. He's not offside, and that is 2 in 2. But I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's 2 goals in this game for Jose Roberto, and we are surely through to a quarter final against a very, very good opposition. We've managed to get through as it stands. Estevao to the near post. It falls out to Beto to the edge of the area where Hendrik is lining up the shot, and that is job done here. And it gets even better because Hendrik has got involved in the action now. Absolutely incredible. Let's go make some changes. Loran on there will bring Zangrandi on into the middle at left back. Beraldo is the obvious change. Bossei will bring off as well because he's on a yellow for Lucas, who I do really want to bring on into this game here. And we have one more change which we can make here in this game. 69 minutes gone, 3-0 up, and we are through to the quarterfinals. There will be a final episode tomorrow where we might just win the World Cup. Who knows? Let's have a look. Turkey are still advancing down this right side, trying to get themselves back into this game, and that is over the bar. Mateus has had a very, very good display. Mateus actually moved on from Sao Paulo. I think he went to Saudi in the end, but he did obviously had a very good shift. with Sao Paulo. Some of these games, let's have a look. Argentina have now finally gone ahead. It's Croatia who are ahead in that game there against Denmark. Italy, there's a draw between Qatar and Australia. Going to make a final change here in this game. Who do we bring on? I think Jackson actually for Wanderson. Wanderson's had a bit of a quiet game, and I think that's a change. That does make sense here to give him a few minutes. Very capable player. South Africa have gone ahead in the 85th minute against Portugal. The host nation are going to knock out the number 1 ranked team here coming into this tournament. But the full-time whistle goes, and it's a 3-0 demolishing of Turkey here. Let's go and look at our quarter-final opponent. So in the next episode, it's a quarter-final against Serbia, who will be playing against. They knocked out Belgium, the second-ranked or first-ranked team coming into this tournament. I don't know, is the rest of it being decided? It has. So after this, if we win, we would play one of South Africa or Argentina. That is a very, very tough game. And then in the final, should we get there, it's either Spain, Italy, Australia, or Croatia. That is incredible. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll leave with this little tune, and I'll see you again tomorrow for finals day in the World Cup. Thank you. Bye bye.